Hello, traders. Welcome to the market update for the week ending October 29th, 2021. Today, we're going to be taking a look at primary bars. If you haven't heard the term, stay tuned to find out how understanding primary bars and spotting them in the market can help take your trading to the next level. Welcome, traders. Thank you for joining the MTM team today and supporting us in our mission to spread the truth of trading and help you achieve consistent performance. I'm Safik Bassam, a trader coach here at MTM. So let's dive into the topic for today. What is a primary bar? I'm going to start off by showing you by drawing some bars here. And we're going to take a look at a bottom to top move first. So let's say we have a few bars forming. Clearly, we are in a bottom to top move. And at this point, we have to ask ourselves the question, will the market continue in the same direction or reverse? So one of the things that we here at MTM do is to quantify the likelihood that the trend, in this case a bottom to top move, continues in the same direction or reverses. And one of the bars that we look for is what we call a primary bar. So let me draw out what a primary bar would look like in this instance. So a primary bar has two main criteria. The primary low takes out the low of the primary -1 bar, and the primary -1 bar is the highest point in the bottom to top move. So again, since we're just looking at the bottom to top move, let's take a look at this a little closer. So again, we have these bars indicating that we are in a bottom to top move. How do we know we're in a bottom to top move? Each of the previous highs gets taken out by the next bar. Now, how does a primary bar form? So first, we have to look at whether the low of the primary -1 bar gets taken out by this bar. So yes, the low did get taken out. And second criteria is the primary -1 bar. Again, this bar is the highest point in the entire bottom to top move. Yes, that is so as well. So in this case, this is indeed a primary bar. So if we recollect the 4 bar patterns, we know that there could either be an insider bar, an outsider bar, an up bar, or a down bar. These are the 4 possibilities for any bar in reference to the previous one. So in this case, which of these 4 bar patterns would be a primary? Well, we already know this last one is a primary because it takes out the previous low, takes out the low of the previous bar, which is the primary, which is the primary -1, excuse me. And the primary -1 is the highest point at the bottom of the top move. What about anything else? Well, the up bar is definitely not the highest point in that bottom to top move, so we can cross that out. The outsider bar is also not the highest point in the bottom to top move, even though it does take out the low of the primary -1 bar. So both criteria were not met. So the outsider bar is not it either, and for sure the insider bar matches neither criteria. So we only have one bar, one possibility that allows for this to be a primary bar. And if you remember, that equates to about a 40% chance of that happening for any bar. So that gives us a great starting point for whenever this bar occurs, what to be on the lookout for to again answer the question, will the market continue in the same direction or will it reverse? We hope this video helps shed some light on what a primary bar is and why it's important to be aware of them while trading. Of course, we are just taking a look at a bottom to top move, so perhaps it might be useful for us to consider a top to bottom move just so the concept is clear. So on slide 2. So here we're in a top to bottom move. How do we know we're in a top to bottom move? The low of the next bar takes out the low of the preceding. So we are confirmed downtrend. And here, let's take a look at how a primary would form. So primary, again, looking at the criteria, takes out, in this case, the high of the primary minus 1 bar. And the primary minus 1 bar also is the highest point of the bottom top. So here, this would be a primary. And it could also be a red bar, a green bar. This red bar could have opened here, closed here, but this is still primary. So when you're trading the markets this week, be on the lookout for these primary bars and see if that helps you visualize it. So now let's move on to the market update for this week, shall we?
For those of you who are unsure of your trader type, take our Trader's Personality Quiz today. This will help you trade strategies that fit your personality to achieve consistent performance. After the quiz, you will also gain a free video course that suits your personality to help you trade safely with low risk and high returns. Go ahead and click on the link below to take the quiz now.
Starting off first with the Euro USD, we have a price structural failure here. You guys remember what that is? We have a downtrend, top to bottom, swing high, swing low, swing high, lower low, then a lower high, a higher high, and then a higher low. So we had an established trend to the downside, and then we had a swing high, which takes out the previous swing high, leaving us with, if this continues to the upside and takes out this previous swing high, we would then be in an established uptrend. All right, let's move on to next. The dollar franc here. Dollar franc still in a top to bottom move. No trade as of yet on the dollar franc. Next, the pound dollar. Dollar hit some resistance at the previous swing highs. See here, we entered a short trade earlier this week and we got stopped out at 1.3785, right around here. So took a short loss, a small loss, excuse me, on going short on this trade. Next, dollar yen. We have a confirmed top here. We entered short for this trade. Fortunately, we're stopped out of this as well. No trades after that. Close eye out on the dollar, given the move potential to the downside, the open equity that we see here. Next, on the dollar, still trending up in a bottom to top move. No trade as of yet, but again, lots of open equity to the downside, so keep a close eye out. Next is the yen. From top here, but no trade as of yet. Again, big moves for some of these currencies. Close eye on those. Next, the indices. Let's see. They're still in the bottom to top move. Took out the previous resistance levels, which now look like support. So very interesting to see what happens in the next few weeks, as many companies have reported strong earnings in recent weeks. So very interesting to see how we close out the year with the FTSE, and also similarly with the Dow Jones Industrial Average in the US, looking like potentially the previous resistance level might also be support here. Coffee, still an established trend breakout. You guys remember what that is? Low, high, lower, higher low, excuse me, higher high, higher low, higher high. So we are continuing in this trend until further notice. No trades on coffee now. Next, oil, still climbing, but has backed off some of the highs that it set late last week, early this week. No trade as of yet for oil, but again, lots of potential based off of open equity. Finally, moving to gold and silver. Gold still in the bottom top move. No trade as of yet. For gold, no top confirmed here, whereas for silver, the top was confirmed. So we're going to keep a close eye to see if any trade opportunities develop. Excuse me, we did take a short trade. We did put a pending order for a short trade, no fill on silver. So we might have to revise that to see if it filled next week. That wraps up the look into the markets. Let's bring up the performance for the trade rooms. This week, for the live trade room, we had no entry for the primary runners or the liftoff strategies. For the cash in 4.0 fiscal primary, a small loss of negative 0.35%. Cash in 4.01 day exit, slight loss again with that, slightly higher than the TSO primary, 0.9%, total loss of 1.25%. No trades triggered on the MTM elite room. So overall, well, as you guys know, these strategies were built, back tested over years. So as we say here, don't get excited by the next flashy crypto asset that you haven't got into. You know your financial goals, you know strategies to get there. Like we say here at Master Markets, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, keep trading.
If you want to get notified every time we put a video up, especially on our live trading update videos, hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications icon. This will get the YouTube algos to kick in and for you to join us in our mission to spread the truth of trading further, so that traders like you can benefit from our videos to trade like a master, achieve consistent performance, and change lives.